Welcome back to another round of TFR eSports Season 25. Here we are for the Belgium Grand Prix, round 10 of 15 in the F2 division. I am your commentator, CJH, once again joined by the two-time F1 champion, TFR eSports, obviously, F1 champion, Epic the Animal, otherwise known as Logan. How are we doing, Logan? Did you have a good New Year and Christmas and all that jazz? And are you glad to be back for another round of the F2 division?
Of course I'm glad to be back, CJ. Another race here. It's going to be chaos, I presume. And yeah, I look forward to seeing what happens with 4 drivers within 15 points of the championship lead.
I mean, the 2-week break from F2 has been a long one because this season has absolutely delivered in bucket loads because there is so much up for grabs in terms of that top 4 in standings, and, dare I say it, as crazy as this sounds, even Alfie in 5th place is only 40 points behind at the top. Would take a lot, and he's had no podiums yet this season, but he has been super consistent in keeping himself in the mix as well. But it is GG who's currently on pole here, who is locked on the same amount of points as Codematic. We've then got a Ruthless Guy in 3rd place, about 14 points behind, with then Tax Collector, the only of the top 4 who have not won a race yet this season. And when all 4 of them have been on the track at the same time, Tax Collector has never beaten any of them. So Tax Collector as well, the consistent driver hanging on in this championship battle. But before things get a bit spicy here, we've got a new driver tonight, Nifo, the Greek driver debuting for Mercedes, currently in 4th place. But here comes Codematic through the bus stop chicane. Let's see where the joint championship leader can put himself in this Belgium GP quali. He's on the front row with his title rival, Logan.
Yes, he is, and I'm almost surprised at this pace right now. We're only into the 142, CJ. A lot of pace on the table. Is it set up? Is the drivers not nailing their lap? Are they messing up ERS management? As AJ Curtis just slams it into the pits. What is he doing there? But, yeah, we'll have to see what happens with these last runs that everyone's making. Don't want to get us stuck in a DRS train here.
And he's out.
I think qualifying is going to be pretty important as he retires in the pits. Ruthless Guy starting his final lap. So I'm going to be keeping a close eye on that one.
Yeah, so the 2 Saubers then start their final laps. He is at the front of the queue. Actually, it's Tax Collector slightly ahead of him. So the 3 other title protagonists, all very, very close on their final runs here. So here comes Tax Collector coming up to the end of the Camel Straight. He's about a 10th up in the 1st sector. Ruthless Guy, a 10th up as well in the 1st sector. Here comes GG at the back of the queue of these title challengers. He is 4 milliseconds up in the 1st sector, and he's invalidated. Going through Lacombe there, and that is a huge mistake. When I say about the title, maybe pressure getting to some drivers, that is a big error there, because it opens the door for his rivals to potentially take a pole position from him, Logan.
It does, but still a lot of work to do by Tax Collector. He's 6/10 off of pole right now, so he needs to be improving by even more on these sectors. He's about to hit the end of Sector 2. Let's see what he's got cooking. He's up 3/10. What's a Ruthless Guy? He's up 4/10. If he improves in the 3rd sector, he'll be on pole.
Well, this is it. This is it.
Tight.
It's going to get very tight because Tax Collector, he could still very much put himself on the front row. He needs a super bus stop chicane here to try and snatch pole from GG. GG making that critical error, invalidating his final run, may have just given a chance to the others here. Here comes Tax Collector. He's 3rd. He's not on the front row, but a Ruthless Guy isn't on pole. He misses out by 34 thousandths of a second. He almost got it, Logan, but it just wasn't quite enough.
Yeah, almost counts. Nifo and Schaefer are up in Sector 2, so they might be able to improve their positioning as well. We will have to see what happens here. It's all coming down to the end here in qualifying.
Here comes Nifo.
Chicane. It looks good through the bus stop. A little bit of curb there, but carries a decent amount of speed.
And he took pole!
What?
Incredible! On his debut, Nifo absolutely from nowhere there. Schaefer goes 5th as well, but Nifo, with an almighty final sector there, has absolutely stunned the Sauber pair and he's took pole by 38 thousandths of a second, Logan. Incredible.
Out of nowhere, what a third sector that was. And Nipatal moved up to 7th right at he was the last person to cross the line as well. So Tax Collector holds on to 6th in qualifying. Ruthless Guy and GG 2nd and 3rd, and Comatic in 4th. We got the top 4 in the championship in the top 6 in qualifying, but we will see what happens in the race. Sir Spark, I believe, was serving a penalty.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
and Arthur got a lap in at the end, but only good enough for P11. Oh, this is going to be a good one.
Absolutely. We've got the title challenges all kind of together, if you like, at the start, barring Tax Collector separated by Schaefer to his rivals. But Nifo there, the Greek driver on his debut, he looked fairly quick earlier, but it wasn't looking like a pole lap. And right at the very, very end there, pulling something out the bag with a stunning time, you'd have to say, because it wasn't by much, but it was all in the final sector, Logan.
Yeah, it was all in the final sector. He got like 3/4 tenths in the final sector. He nailed the bus stop chicane, took more curb than the rest of them, carried more speed through it, and it just made a huge difference. Everyone else was missing the curb on the first corner, or not carrying as much speed through the second to get the throttle quicker, and it really made a huge difference.
Absolutely. Well, the thing is, though, unfortunately for him, pole is not vital around a circuit like this, because it is a long old run up the hill through Arouge and Raidillon, and they will be all chasing after him. And we saw in the F3 division, it was chaos into the first corner. We had 3 wide into that very tight hairpin. So I'm expecting potentially something along the same lines here in F2. We're about to find out then. We've got 5 red lights here in Spa. And we are on the way for the F2 Belgium GP. Good start then from the 2 Sauers, and we're 3 wide again into the first corner. Incredible stuff. GG gets a little bit out of shape and actually gets ahead, shall I say. It's a Ruthless Guy who got out of shape, is now down into 4th. Comatic with a great start then up into 3rd. He's going to try and move up through Arouge. Incredible. Just like Weber in real life in 2011, swoops past Nifo there for 2nd place. Schaefer then has also got a Ruthless Guy, and he's now charging up into 3rd. Alongside the Mercedes. He's now up into 3rd, ahead of Nifo, and it's absolute chaos going through Lecombe there.
Yes, it is. Nipatal made a mistake in turn 1. He's down at the back of the grid, but everyone's kept it pointing in the right direction for now, CJ, but we're nose to tail all the way through the field, and I'm sure chaos is going to happen as... Oh! Tax Collector gets touched by Alfie.
And Alfie's round, I think. Alfie's off. He's in the gravel.
He's in the gravel now. He mounts the sausage curb.
Oh!
And he touches Northie.
Takes an almighty whack there.
Yeah.
And
Northie goes wide. More battling as Arthur goes down the inside of Sir Spark. Sir Spark already up into 8th from not being able to qualify.
It's a great start then from Sir Spark. Arthur there, though, on those soft tyres, making the move. We've got a real mix of soft tyres and medium tyres runners. Northie's on the hards at the very back. But it's the top 3 then, all on softs, all making decent starts there. And, Comatic will have DRS on this next lap. He's very close to GG, but GG did what he needed to do there, Logan. He got out of the trouble and managed to grab the lead when the opportunity appeared itself.
Yes, he did. Now it's going to be about managing that ERS to be able to defend from the cars behind, and hopefully they start battling. But a good start for GG. First in the championship, first in the race. Can't complain about that.
I mean, you have to say, a Ruthless Guy probably made, benefit hindsight, but he made the wrong call going on the mediums because he had such an awful start there. After that first corner, got really caught into trouble, but he's coming back at Nifo now, and the pole man is in serious trouble here because there goes a Ruthless Guy with superior straight line speed, straight past Mercedes, and there's a move for the lead. Yeah, Comatic right around the outside on GG. The 2 title rivals going at it here on the second lap, and it's an easy pass, Logan.
Yeah, it was an easy pass. Just got a good exit, used the ERS, and he's now in first. Alfie and AJ Curtis battling towards the back as well.
And look at GG there, absolutely pushing Co-Manic almost through that corner. And oh, there's an Aston Martin, I think, in the background there. I think that was Arthur having an almighty swapper coming out that corner. I think he managed to get hold of it because he's still going along. But how that car didn't go spearing into the barrier, I'm not quite sure. The entire field, very close. Yep, there goes Ultimate Stand then. And a sweet move then on the McLaren up into P8. So Spark then starting to fall a little bit away, but he has still made a good start on those medium tires. A Ruthless Guy now starting to close back up, and there goes GG having a little look to the outside through Blanchimont there, and these two, they're not holding it back here. There is no DRS games at all because GG is going for it, and he can see that there's an Alpine right in his mirrors right behind him, Logan.
Yeah, now he's even closer, and behind him's another Sauber who touches him in the butt. Behind him's a Mercedes. We got caution in Sector 3 for something.
I think Slusko's out of shunt at the bus stop. He's got going again, though. So something's gone on there, potentially. But look at this queue of cars, Logan. This is going to be absolute battles galore here.
Yeah, it is. Here we go, boys. Round 1. Ding, ding.
Here comes GG in the slipstream, and we'll have DRS. Co-Manic seems a bit defenseless here, but he's gaining and gaining the Sauber. They're trying to hang on in that Red Bull of Co-Manic, but there goes GG straight up the inside. Easy move in the end, and Co-Manic didn't fight that too hard, Logan. He probably couldn't do too much about it.
Now they're using too much battery early on in the race. They're not managing it very well. That's really going to come to bite them as these laps tick on compared to those that do. But top 3, all soft runners. Ruthless Guy and Nifo looking good on those mediums for the long game, but they're going to have to come through traffic later in this race.
Absolutely. And this is the thing.
Goes wide.
The soft tyres do seem quite fragile. We saw this in the F3 division, obviously a slightly shorter race, but the tyres can be very fragile. And there goes on Stan having a look on Arthur for P7. Arthur, a little bit of a cork in the bottle at the minute. He has split the field in two. And Ultimate Stan for getting a bit frustrated behind Tax Collector. Also getting a bit frustrated behind Nifo there. But all still in play in at these front runners, and you can see a Ruthless Guy there is starting to close up on the Alpine of Schaefer. These soft tyre runners, I think they are starting to struggle, but there goes Tax Collector having a little look to the inside of Nifo. But these medium runners, I mean, they've got to make the most of it. When those softs go off, Logan, they will really be struggling.
Yeah, I'm looking at the battery management. The two Saubers have the best battery management right now, so they're going to have that extra pace on these DRS straights to try to make something happen in this train. And yeah, I think these soft runners are in a good spot because not only are they on the faster tire to start off, but they're going to get the massive undercut on the people starting on the mediums.
Well, here we go. Once more then down the Kemmel Straight. Co-Manic gaining and gaining, but I think we're going to be looking at the battle for P3 because here comes a Ruthless Guy to the outside with the DRS. Tries to get a little bit later. I think there's a touch of contact there and a little bit more as well, but it's Schaefer who hangs on to that third place spot just about. That's the first time I've seen Logan someone actually defend their position down that straight and manage to hang on to it. So far it's just been such an easy pass with that DRS. Up to Logan. Logan there. Radio check. I think we may have just briefly lost Logan, but we will continue on with the action. And GG then, still leading the way then here on lap 4. There he is. I can hear him now in my ears.
Yep, sorry.
I hope all is okay.
Yeah, everything's good. Just work decided that, don't worry, Logan's got it tomorrow. So other than that, we're doing good.
Perfect. Well, lap 4 then of 15 about to go on to lap 5. Got another move there from Nifo. Oh my word, he's got that completely wrong. Spins the car around, and well, he's got to be so careful rejoining. He won't be able to rejoin because there's all those cars in front of him. And oh, what a mistake to make. He dives into the pit lane. He's probably cooked the tires like they're on the barbecue or something, and he's going to have to get a set of hard tires on, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I could go for a good barbecue right now. That sounds pretty damn good. But yeah, that kind of chalked his race up. But here comes Ruthless Guy on Schaefer. Battery management's important. Look what happens, boys. You run out of battery, you're a sitting duck. I'll say the same thing every week. I know no one will ever listen. Codematic out of battery, so GG has the lead. Yeah, it's all battery management right now. Ruthless Guy looking damn good.
Yeah, a clinical move there from a Ruthless Guy to finally get ahead of Schaefer, just as Nefo made that big error into bus stop. He'd done well in some ways to avoid everybody else, because usually when people make those mistakes, it ends up in a bit of chaos. But unfortunately for him, he's way off the back of the pack. But he's shown good pace so far, so if he can get those hard tires up to temperature, he could seriously bring himself back into that midfield. However, a Ruthless Guy there, having a great middle sector, Logan, is now right on the tail of Codematic. He is picking them off here one by one.
Yeah, and he has 40% more battery than him as well. So it's going to be a matter of time until he gets Codematic. Those softs are definitely falling off. I imagine him coming in this lap or next lap, honestly. So we will have to see what happens there. Nepatau close to Arthur for P7. Actually, Olderman stands right beside him, and the other Haas is right beside him.
Yeah.
Behind him.
This is very, very sketchy. This is going to be chaos. And look at that. There goes Nepatau to the outside, now to the inside. And you got the two Haas pair going with
where'd
they make contact.
Come from?
Oh, my word.
Where'd he come from?
Multiple contacts, left, right, and centre there, and absolute chaos as we got a bunch of cars all diving in the pits as well. That was Schaefer diving in the pits. The two Haas pairs almost going at it as well into that first corner. But look at this. For the lead, or shall I say, it could be for second, because here comes a Ruthless Guy in that absolute rocket ship of a Sauber.
No. Look at the difference. He has no battery. This is why you got to manage your battery, CJ.
And there he goes. Down the inside, Comatic's trying to hang it on, but he can't do anything about it. And a Ruthless Guy now up into second place. And despite a poor start, Logan, he is on a charge.
Absolutely. And on the medium tires as well. The soft tires need to be building a gap to him, and they are not.
Oh, and we've had Arthur off. Sorry to jump in there. I thought there was a contact there as the camera just completely went AWOL. But he ended up in the gravel, but he is continuing on.
Other than this 7th through 5th battle in the leading group, it's all starting to spread out here, mainly because of pit stops. We're going to have to see how this race develops with the different strategies.
What I've noticed as well, actually, is Nepatau, just coming out the pits, is now right with Nefo. Now, Nepatau was at the front of that midfield battle, so for Nefo's race here, he is kind of back in that mix. Despite having that big old spin, having to pit a little bit early, he is potentially still going to be in a battle for P5 here, so could be a bit of a strong recovery drive from him. GG is in the pit lane, though. He clips the bollard actually coming in the pits as well as Codematic follows him into the pits, but that was a late lunge in, and his teammate was very close actually. I've seen that before, Logan, where you got a car diving in the pits coming back across, and the car behind can sometimes not realise, and then you get a collision happen.
Yeah, you got to keep it pinched tight if you're going into the pits. Try to avoid that situation. He's into the pits now, and what's interesting to me is how much this undercut of the different strategies is going to come into play.
Well, Logan,
how much of the gap can they build? What?
Look at that. Schaefer, speaking of undercut, has jumped Codematic. He's ahead of Codematic there, and is going to be right on the tail of GG if he gets a good enough run, because there is the RB of Northey having a little go back at the Sauber there. I wouldn't think I'd be saying that. And you know what? He might just repass him. He's got the DRS wide open. He's not quite going to have enough, and we'll have to just settle for the position. But he's going to get passed by the Alpine now. If he's not careful, but he's put him in the gravel. And now Codematic is now back ahead of him. So Northey there, at a sink here, absolutely causing chaos, Logan.
He is. They're just not patient, not getting around him at the right time. They got much fresher tires, fresher and softer tires.
Oh!
Whoa! Schaefer on the inside tax collector. Where did he come from?
Well, tax collector now is now ahead of the pair of them. Two cars in one corner almost there. Tax collector ahead of Northey and Schaefer. This has gone so badly for Schaefer. Just as he had jumped Codematic with the undercut, Logan, now he's behind two cars.
Yeah, what is all kicking off here on the pit cycle? Question is, when is Ruthless Guy going to come in?
Well, that's the thing. He doesn't want to get undercut too much here. However, he will have the softs for that final stint. You'd imagine he might have to go a bit longer, Logan, because we saw those soft tires going off quite quickly early on.
Yeah, 8 or 9 laps, I'm guessing he's going to go. We're going to have to keep an eye on that every lap. Same thing with Surf Spark, Ultimate Stan, AJ Curtis. Where are they all going to file in, and what's their pace going to be like on those softs to come up through the field?
Well, the gap from Ruthless Guys to GG right now is 16 seconds, so GG will very much be still in the lead. This could be a bit of a grandstand finish, though, to this race, because a Ruthless Guy on the soft tires will have a bit of work to do, but he will be charging at these slightly older medium tyre runners come the end of this race. Komanic's got an almighty run up the hill there, and he's going to have DRS then on GG, and will have an absolute go then down the Kemmel Straight. DRS, you're right, no battery, because he's stolen out here, has a little look to the outside, but you're absolutely right, Logan, he couldn't do any more. He gained a lot on GG, but as soon as he pulled out the slipstream, it was game over. He was not going to get ahead of that Sauber unless he gets a bit more battery in the car.
A bit more battery, just any battery at all. He's at 0.
Absolutely. It's like I'm watching the F3 race all over again. You would have been pulling your hair out, Logan, if you were watching that. Alfie down the Kemmel Straight for about 5 laps straight, had 0% ERS, and he just never got the move done to take the lead off Albert down.
Alfie goes through, Nipatal's falling down the order all of a sudden. What's happened here?
Something's gone on there. That is for sure. Alfie only just pitting as well. Was Nepatal. Nepatal's really struggling, actually, because he was with Nifo for a while, but he's tumbling down as GG now makes a move on the other Red Bull, who actually gets out the way of his teammate as well. Good team play there, but AJ Curtis not messing him out there, and gets out the way. But
Arthur hits Nepatal.
Oh, and he's off. No, he's not. He's continuing on. It's Nepatal that was off, shall I say. There's a lot of battles going on here.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, and he takes him out. Is he going to take him out back? Oh, this is getting dirty. Oh, he tries to take him out on purpose and misses.
His head is
red
gone.
Card.
And I'm afraid to say it probably is... yeah, I'll pull away from that one. That is for sure. Because we've actually got another little scrap here between GG and Komatic. But you won't be surprised to hear, Logan, he didn't get past the Sauber because he had no battery.
That is the least surprising thing I've heard in a decade.
So, Komatic. I mean, at the end of the day, what I don't quite understand is you could put it in none or medium for the whole of this part of the lap. You will not lose too much time. I mean, he might be doing that right now anyway, because I can see the rear light flashing. But unless he does something like that, Logan, and particularly now because GG is actually starting to catch Ultimate Stan and Sir Spark for a bit of traffic in front. So now is the opportunity, if you're Komatic, get that recharge on and give it a proper go, because he's surely not going to get past him if he doesn't do that.
Yeah, absolutely not. And he is 65% now. Let's see how quickly he can run that down to 0.
Well,
look at this run that Sir Spark is getting on Ultimate Stan.
We have a race leader in the pits. He's into the pit lane, and about the right time of what we expect. But look at this. Look at this queue behind. Ultimate Stan dives in the pits, so too does Sir Spark. So they get out the way for GG, and it gives him a bit of DRS, but Komatic is right on him, sets a fast lap of the race, and he's right on him down the start-finish straight. That's not necessarily where you want to make the move, though, Logan, as these two come out well clear of a Ruthless Guy. This will be his chance now with a DRS coming up the hill. This is where he's got to try and take the lead here.
He's got to try, and he actually has battery! Wow, look at that! Now watch what happens.
Here he comes.
Wow,
DRS
look at that, when you have
open.
battery, you can pass people.
And he's going to go past. There he goes, into the lead. Easy does it. And a Ruthless Guy in the background has been passed. He was passed by Tax Collector coming up the hill. So,
yeah,
very costly.
He got the slipstream. He'll be able to get him back with no problem, though. But how much time he's going to lose?
That's the thing. Oh, and it gets a little bit close as well. Under braking, going through that hairpin, and you can see he's going to be getting frustrated, stuck behind Tax Collector, because as long as this goes on, he is losing time, or the gap is definitely stabilised, and that's for sure. It's about 4 seconds or so to GG, and, well, you can be sure that he'll be able to close that down, Logan. But also, the thing is, he wants to catch up to them and then have battery to make the moves, because he's got 2 cars to pass if he wants to win this race. Well, 3 in total, shall I say.
Yeah, it'll be tight. It'll be tight. We'll have to see.
Well, there he comes.
Right there too, and
has a little look to the inside. Yeah, that's not maybe the right place you want to do it. He's going to set it up, though, for the bus stop. And a chuck down the inside. There he goes on Tax Collector. Tax Collector defending hard and has gone very wide there. But there goes a Ruthless Guy ahead of Tax Collector. Has the DRS as well for good measure. And will now have 4.2 seconds to close down Logan. It's going to be touch and go.
He's got 5 laps to do it.
Here they come up the hill once more. And GG will have DRS then on Komanik. He's now got no ERS, but he's gaining and gaining on Komanik, and he might have a little lunge to the inside line. He is going to go for the lunge, and he's going to make the move on Komanik. Komanik's defending it hard, though. They're still side by side, and they almost touch coming out of that corner. But Komanik hangs on just about, Logan. But that was a great scrap between the pair of them. They both got no ERS, but they were giving it absolutely everything there.
And because of that, Ruthless Guy has gained a second already of this.
Yeah. This is exactly what he wants, surely.
Absolutely. Exactly what he wants, exactly what he needs. Oldman Stan on the fresh softs behind Nifo on the old hards. Sir Spark down in 9th, but he's got the fresh softs. He's going down the inside of Alfie. Not able to make it there. And he's losing time here against the Haas. Look at that, the gap, 2.5. He's gained 2 seconds.
Yeah. Get the popcorn ready, folks, because this is going to be a grandstand finish between 3 drivers, all absolutely desperate to win this race for their championship. And these 2 here, they're going to be focused on each other, but they, well, they might be aware of it, but whether they can do anything about it, I'm not too sure. They can see that other green car rapidly approaching right behind them, and we're going to start lap 12 here. With 4 laps to go. There are your top 5 all in the same picture, but it's these 3 that are going to be going for the win as the Ruthless Guy sets the fastest lap of the race, Logan, and that is by some distance.
Yes, fresh softs and battery help. Codematic and GG are going to use all of their battery, and Ruthless Guy, how much time is he going to gain with these 2 fighting? Does GG even have DRS?
He doesn't. He doesn't, you know.
Codematic is free now.
And here's a little scrap for P4. There goes Schaefer on Tax Collector. So Schaefer now up into 4th. These 2 will be having their own little battle here. And there goes on Stan on Nifo. On the fresh soft tires. Pulls clear of the recovering Mercedes driver. So how does that now change things for GG? He's got to have a mega lap here.
Alfie and Sir Spark going at it again. Alfie gets back around him. So, GG's really struggling here. He is really, really struggling. That gap now, 1.8 seconds to Codematic. Codematic, fair play to him, Logan. He has got his foot down and is trying to stabilize that gap to Ruthless Guy. The gap now is 3.2 seconds from Codematic to a Ruthless Guy. He's doing what he needs to do. He's doing what he needs to do at the minute. Yes, he is. But both of them are not managing the battery. 1.8 now, the gap from Ruthless Guy to his teammate.
And I tell you, GG has had a mega, mega final sector that. He's just took 8 tenths out of Codematic in that one straight. Yeah, from Stavolo to bus stop. And Codematic there just is keeping that out of DRS range, but he was playing it risky there. And, well, a Ruthless Guy, he's not quite took as much time out on that last lap, hasn't he, Logan, actually? That gap's stabilised a little bit.
He is not the best lap there by him. He's going to have to find time. We're just going to have to wait and see what happens. Tax Collector still in DRS of Schaefer, not going to be close enough for a move. Nifo right behind Oldman Stan with a 3-second time penalty. And the other Haas, Alfie, is going to be in a battle with Sir Spark as well. And he'll be able to
Yeah,
get
oof,
in easily, even though they...
dearie me.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a little tap there as well from the McLaren under braking, but that was a bit of a swing to the other side of the circuit, that is for sure. But meanwhile, out front, Comatic then has got that gap to about 1.3 seconds. Ruthless Guy, again, not really taking enough time out. Lost a good few tenths there again in that corner. Those soft tyres, I don't rate them, Logan. I think they don't last very long at all.
They don't. They're just not driving the best. You know, they're missing a lot of apexes, not taking a lot of curbs. They should. A lot of time on the table. And GG close to the DRS. I don't know if he's quite going to get it. No, he is not.
So.
Yeah, they're going way too deep in the bus stop. Losing tons of time.
So both of them have got absolutely no ERS now. A Ruthless Guy has got a bit, about, what was that, 40% or so, but both GG and Comatic have got nothing in the tank here, so they're both kind of in the same boat now. But Comatic, fair play to him, Logan. He is doing a great job of just keeping that Sauber out of the DRS, and at the minute, it's completely got this under control.
Yeah, he has. The race just kind of just fell to him. Had the preferred strategy, kept it smooth. Didn't manage the battery at all, but that doesn't seem to matter today.
Yeah. Well, penultimate lap.
Top 6 are all just spreading out. Top 7, kind of.
They are. We've got
Goldman stands penalty.
A tasty little scrap here
Alfie
again.
Back on Sir Spark.
That Haas seems to be. It's like his mouse is on like max sensitivity or something. Every time he moves past, he absolutely jolts across. But he's now ahead of Sir Spark. Sluska starting to join that party as well. Someone who's about to join a party is actually a Ruthless Guy. He has had a much better lap this time around. He's gaining on his teammate, almost in the DRS of his teammate. His teammate's actually just dipped a tyre in the gravel. But with the extra ERS that he's got in play here, he's got to absolutely try somehow to get into the DRS of his teammate to do something in these closing stages. Because at the minute, Comatic is going to have this one done and dusted, because unless he makes a mistake, neither of them Saubers are going to have a go here, because we're going on to the final lap and he is clear of any DRS threat.
Yeah, it looks like this one's about wrapped up, as lame as it is to say. We thought we were going to have a grandstand finish, but...
I hyped up too much, Logan.
Yeah, I mean, we did have how many lead changes?
Yeah. And we're almost free wide into the bus stop there between these three cars, and they're scrapping away here for P8. Alfie with Sir Spark, Sluss going right behind as well, and there goes Sir Spark into that P8 spot. Alfie does obviously have a penalty here. He has a little look to the inside. There was no way there was a gap there, but that doesn't matter to Alfie. He's just sent it there anyway, and he's going to have Sluss going right behind now, trying to get into the mix. Nifo is going to breeze past the Haas up the road, but it's this freeway tussle here for P8 that we're keeping an eye on, because Alfie then will move ahead of Sir Spark just with Sluss going right behind. But no, he doesn't. He's gone straight on. He's gone straight on at Lecombe there, and I know what just happened there. He's almost trying to do the old layout. But meanwhile, out front, there's no changes, Logan. Comatic,
Nope.
He's driven brilliantly, hasn't he, just to secure this one.
Caution in sectors 1 and 2. I wonder what happened there. I don't see anything. Yellow flags go away, and yep, this one's all wrapped up. Oh, Sir Spark made a mistake, so now Alfie's up in the P8.
We'll keep an eye on that tasty little scrap for P8 in a moment, because here comes Comatic then. He's going to take his third win in TFR eSports, and what a vital win this is for the championship. He rounds the final corner to win the F2 Belgium Grand Prix, and boy did he deserve that one, because he did what he needed to do, struggled a little bit with the ERS management earlier, but he got on top of it, held off GG, held off his teammate, a Ruthless Guy, who couldn't come back in the end. But it's Schaefer in 4th, Tax Collector 5th. We've got Nifo and Ultimate Stand 6th and 7th. It looks like Alfie is going to be at the front of that battle for P8, Logan. But Nepatal with no penalties behind. Might jump the pair of them, actually.
I don't know, not after that bus stop chicane. Yes, he does get him.
He got one of them, and in the end, that's actually very close between all of them. And we've had every car finish that race, which I was shocked to see. I was not expecting that at Spa, but they all got it done in the end. But
I'm not
maybe,
shocked at all. I'm
really,
not shocked because they have been the pinnacle of consistency all season.
but well, how about that? A word on that win for Comanic, Logan, because that could be big in the championship. It's still very, very tight between those top runners, but we've got 5 rounds left after tonight, and he held his own against those two Saubers, who have arguably been quicker at quite a few points this season.
Yeah, he did. Starting on the harder tire was definitely not the right idea. And yeah, just in the second half of that race, GG just didn't have the pace to keep up with them, even in the DRS.
And a Ruthless Guy, was that race lost at the start? Was that maybe the wrong
Yes,
strategy was on?
yes. You just get undercut too hard.
Yeah. I think that's the thing with Spa. It was a similar thing with the Hungary race last time out. The undercut is actually quite powerful, and then once you've lost quite a bit of the time, it's very difficult to claw that all back. And well, that is it. That is it for your first race of the F2 division in 2026. It's Kobanic who starts off the year in style, and he's just said there in the chat, a great fight. And it was. It maybe didn't quite have our amazing finale, Logan, that we were kind of expecting there with a Ruthless Guy coming back at the pair of them. But it was still a good race, and we managed to see those title challengers all go at it for one of the few times actually this season, really, because usually they're all kind of, at least one of them's having a bad race.
Yeah, they all went at it there, and Codematic got the best of them. I mean, one race at a time, can't think too much of it. It's more about avoiding those awful results, I think. More about that consistency. So we'll have to see come the rest of the rounds. But good race today, lots of lead changes, a lot of position changes all over the place, and all 14 cars finishing.
Absolutely. So next up, we've got the Italian Grand Prix. Monza returns. What's your thoughts on that one, Logan? I mean, it'll be a similar thing with the battery, and they'll need to manage that a bit better. But what's your thoughts on the F2 division ahead of the Italian Grand Prix next week?
Qualifying is going to be really important because you're just going to lose time battling people, lose DRS to the cars ahead, and just keep having to fight the same people you just passed over and over. So nailing that qualifying is going to be vital next week.
Perfect. Right, that's your lot then for the F2 division tonight. We'll be back next week for the Italian Grand Prix. There's 5 rounds to go, and it's all still super, super close in the battle for the championship. We'll see you then. And that's a wrap. That was a quick race, you know. It's only 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I think it's just because it's